A new black swan event that could crash the entire crypto market. Ripple's going forward with their RLUSD launch. XRP price talk, you know we got it. Pumps and dumps, better believe it.
Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
That's right, everyone. A black swan event that could crush the entire crypto market. But before we get into that, your comments. Hot, spicy, relevant. Maybe I'll share it in the beginning of the next video. Trick dropping some support on the channel. Says, Klaus, you're a legend and a beautiful human being. I am just doing what I can here in the upstate, using my resources to help out friends, family, strangers, and neighbors. Today, my big mission, delivering more ice. And you're like, Klaus, delivering more ice? Yeah. Got a countertop ice maker to add to my freezer so now I can bring more ice so that people can keep their stuff good. Medication, breast milk, all sorts of stuff like that. You know what else I got for you? We're retiring Gary the Fairy, and now we've got Gary the Wang. That's right. Look at Wang Gary all nestled up in his crocheted ball sack and shaft. Let's get to that crypto news. Bitcoin sitting at 61,734, while ETH is 2387, BNB's at 554, while Sol's at 141. XRP we're going to talk a lot about at the end of this video, 52.5. Sweet, pulling back from its high, pump and dump possible. XLM sitting at 9 cents. Markets moving on. Have you checked out XLM volume? Been piss poor. Go to that Black Swan event. HBO documentary will unveil Bitcoin's creator, Satoshi Nakamoto. The new HBO documentary, Money Electric, The Bitcoin Mystery, will debut this Tuesday on HBO's internet streaming service. According to Politico's Europe senior finance editor, Isabella Kaminishka, Satoshi will be named by the documentary's producer and director. Okay, why is this a Black Swan event? Okay, let's go to the heat map, and I'm going to show you a few things, okay? If you wanted to go after Cardano, who would you go after? Charles and the crew, right? It's pretty easy. There's an organization to point to. If you wanted to go after XLM, who would you go after? Stellar Development Foundation. What about our XRP friends? Who do you go after? You go after Ripple. See, the whole point behind this is that if you know who the creator is, you know who benefits, right? So when they sell XRP, who benefits from it? Ripple. When Stellar sells XLM primary, who benefits? It's Stellar. It's obvious, right? It's not me being mean. It's just how this crypto market works. But who benefits with BTC? And no one does. See, and if Satoshi remains anonymous, BTC is still protected. But all of a sudden, if we find out who the actual creator is, who's holding all that OG BTC, governments around the world could go after him. Because then they'd be like, oh, well, there is a person or organization that's benefiting from this. Unregistered securities, violation, bam. So you got to be real careful here. Because the reason Bitcoin is so strong is because of its anonymous creator. Governments can't go after it because they don't know who to go after. You could go after the miners, but the miners are just like miners for gold. They're just mining. They're not the creator. They just mine. So if it's true that this documentary is really going to reveal who Satoshi is, BTC would get pounded. It's not really decentralized then anymore, is it? If a centralized person has made it and owns a ton of it. So let's hope that this HBO documentary is just like, what was it? Like Hookers on the Point? And is just out there for entertainment purposes. Johns, Does, Marks, you know what's up. PayPal makes a first corporate payment to Ernst & Young using the PYUSD stablecoin. I'm bringing this up because we're going to talk about Ripple and their stablecoin. PayPal's significant milestone in the adoption of digital currencies for corporate transaction happened through Ernst & Young making a payment through SAP's digital currency hub. While the exact amount remains undisclosed, this inaugural payment demonstrates the practical application of stablecoins in corporate finance, offering a glimpse into the future of instant blockchain-based payments. The fact that Ernst & Young, one of the big four accounting firms in PayPal's order to receive the payment, shows the potential for mainstream adoption. I like that. Jose Fernandez de Ponte, PayPal senior VP, says this: the enterprise environment is very well suited for it. It's a very rational conversation to have with the CFO. Launched in 2023, PYUSD now has a market cap of $694 million. Goes back to the Ripple thing. When Ripple launches it, who's going to benefit? Are you going to see XRP holders benefit? Is Ripple the company going to benefit? Well, for sure, Ripple the company's going to benefit. Let's be real here, right? I mean, that's just kind of common sense here. We'll get into that soon. Sweet price tanks after hitting a 6-month high amid market volatility. It is about pumps and dumps in the crypto market. What about Toncoin? They pumped it and dumped it. What about some of our other favorites here? They pumped it and dumped it. What about HBAR? They pumped that thing up and then they dumped that thing as well. Would I call Sweet a dump? Not really. I mean, we were hovering right around $1 before all the big Sweet news started happening. It got real close to $2 and has been pulled back to $1.75. Pump and dump? No. Retracement? Yeah. Dumpage would be if we pull a little bit further down. You know what I'm talking about, people. All right, Ripple mints 42 million RLUSD ahead of Q4 2024 launch. And I am freaking exhausted. Like, I am tired. It is early in the morning because I have to get up super early because I'm using my hotspot to do this. So sometimes these videos take like a couple hours to upload. So I got up early thinking like I, beat the wave. Oh, I'm just so freaking tired. Ripple has ramped up its stablecoin dev, minting a significant 42 million RLUSD. Why couldn't they have minted 420 million? Or maybe we could just say it's 42.0 million. 420, my peeps. Sending ripples across the cryptocurrency landscape. In the early hours of October 4th, hold on a second. That's today. That's breaking news. That's why you hit the subscribe button, ladies and germs, because even during times of post-Hurricane Helene, we're still bringing the heat. Not every day of the week, because I kind of had to shut down because I had zero connection, but almost every day of the week. San Francisco-based fintech company initially minted 29.7 RLUSD and then minted even more for a total of 42 million. Now, they talk about XRP to be used as an auto bridge asset, but you don't need to use a lot of these bridge assets because, hey, PYUSD, they didn't need a bridge asset for that. So be very careful about the narrative out there and the overhype of the narrative. Will XRP get some benefit from this? I'm sure they will. Is it going to make XRP moon RLUSD? No, not a chance in hell. How are you going to moon when the SEC is still trying to bend you over? How are you going to moon when the SEC is the big peen in the room? And by the way, these crocheted ball sacks, gotta give whoever the artist is some credit here because that's definitely some shaft Oli. Now, let's get back to the stablecoin talk. I like this. And the reason I like it is because the SEC just filed their notice to appeal. And we're going to talk about that too because there's some juicy deets you need to hear about that. But they just filed the notice to appeal. Now, Ripple didn't back down from their RLUSD launch. They're like, you know what? We're going to keep going forward. And I'm glad that they are because I think there's a very big separation between stablecoins and cryptos. Now, we really don't have updated regs for either, but stablecoins would definitely be the one to get regs first and would be a lot more protected. So I'm going to keep you up to date as that launch happens. We also want to see how does it help out the price of XRP. Now, let's talk about the SEC's appeal because there's something kind of messed up here that a lot of people aren't talking about. And that's the fact that SEC didn't even say what the hell they're appealing yet. They just filed their notice of intent to appeal. They haven't filled out the deets on what they're appealing. So they could be appealing secondary. They could be going after Brad and Chris directly. There's a whole bunch of things. Here's the deadline for Ripple to file a counter appeal as the SEC is yet to file a Form C detailing what they're doing. For context, the US SEC filed a notice of appeal on Wednesday. Again, it's a notice of appeal. They're not telling us directly what they're appealing. Once that gets released, trust me, I'm going to share it with you. That's why you hit the notification bell so you can see what kind of shitstorm we're about to deal in. Form C is a legal document in which an appellant provides the full details of the appeal case brought forward. This form requires the plaintiff to fill out details like who the defendant is, jurisdiction, and so forth. Here's the thing, though. Ripple needs to know what the hell they're appealing so that they can get their defense strategy ready. And Ripple might counter appeal too. I hope they don't. I really do. I hope they don't. But let's just keep going. However, they're looking to grasp at which aspect of the judgment the SEC was appealing. Notably, Torres ruled on several arguments in the years-long case, including programmatic sales of XRP, primary secondary investors, and the status of the XRP token. The judge also reduced the penalty. Ripple now has until October 17th to file for the counter appeal. Meanwhile, bigs out there are telling us 2026. And that's if it doesn't go to the Supreme Court. If it goes to the Supreme Court, 2027 into 2028. So, are we going to have new regs by then? Oh my gosh, I hope so. If we have the same Congress, president in play, then no, we're not going to get updated regs. Gary the Peen, Gary the Wang, Gary Huang is going to be doing his thing. So we really need some political changes to happen in order to avoid the same mess being dragged out. But they are going ahead with RLUSD. XRP got wrecked on the news, and it's obvious. But the thing that a lot of people have been talking about, and this is where I want to hear from you, is did Bigs and insiders know about this? Is this the reason why they pumped up XRP right here, right? You see this? They pumped this up right here. There was a no news pump, and then all of a sudden, dumpage McDumperson. So did the Bigs know? Were there insiders out there that knew that Gary the Huang was going to file the appeal? I mean, that's kind of messed up. And again, this is near the end of the month when Ripple, starts unlocking tokens and sells it to primary so they can raise some money. The timing of this move was a bit messed up. And I got to be honest with you. A lot of us, myself including, are like, yo, they pumped this only to dump it. In fact, they did the same thing here with the Torres action. They pumped it and then dumped it. They pumped it and then dumped it. And what's odd about that is when you saw these pumps, the dumps happened just like right after when the news broke. So is there some insider action shenanigans going on with XRP? And let me ask you too, does what happened with the SEC filing an appeal change the way you're playing this? I've got a bunch of comments where people said, you know what? I did swap out some of my XRP for something else. I did swap out some of my XRP for this or that. I just can't wait any longer. And that's what I think people are pissed about. They're pissed about because if you zoom out even further and further, you're like, dude, in 2 years we haven't made any money. No, you haven't. But other cryptos have made some big moves in the last 2 years. ICP was like a $2 coin for how long? SWI was like 75 cents for how long? Sol was super low for a while, and so was BNB. A bunch of these out there have made some moves, and now XRP holders are freaking out going, oh crap, we might miss out on this next bull run. And let me just put this all into time frame context for you. It's been a week since the storm, and there's a whole bunch of people that haven't even seen a survey crew yet. Yeah, the crew that comes out to see what damage is done, to see what kind of equipment. A week and we haven't even gotten survey crews out this way. Our downtown is still blacker than death. It is horrible. Let's get back to the crypto talk. PayPal, all right, making some corporate payments. I like that. The more corporations we get involved, the more notoriety we get regarding that. But we've already seen the notoriety with stablecoins, so I'm not really too excited about that. But what I am excited about is the fact that Ripple is going forward with their stablecoin. And I want to see who partakes in that. I would like to see what businesses prefer that one over this one. Because you think about it, okay, stablecoins are like this. There's a stablecoin by this company, and by this company, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. And it's all about trust, right? Because if you've got a few million parked in stablecoins earning some juice there, you want to make sure that your few million that's parked is with a company that's reputable, a company that's going to be able to stay open, because you don't want them to go down, 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 down. So it is going to come down to the trust of the companies. We've seen Circle, ton of volume with stablecoins. Tether, ton of volume with stablecoins. PayPal, not a lot of volume with it, but hey, they're starting to pick up some traction. So stablecoins are juicy. Native token XRP will benefit price size? Yeah, probably some, but not like moon action like people are calling for. Oh my God, RLUSD is launching. We're going to go to the moon. Dude, NASA didn't even go to the moon. It was all fake. I'm just kidding. But think about that. What happens now to XRP holders during this next bull run? I mean, we've seen that price suppression happens during the case. And now if we've got an appeal going to 2026, if this then goes to the Supreme Court 2027, 2028, how much more bull run action is going to be missed out? And does XRP suffer even worse because people are like, dude, I just don't want to be that patient. I don't want to miss out anymore. I've seen other people making money, and I don't want to miss out on making that money because my money's been parked and I haven't even been earning any interest on it. It's kind of what happens when you own a native token. So does XRP start losing support? Is that the black swan where support just starts eroding for XRP holders because people are tired of waiting? Or does the black swan come from Bitcoin getting crashed to the ground because Satoshi gets revealed? I really don't think the HBO documentary is going to do anything worthwhile. Just throwing it out there. But you think about that, there's a lot of headwinds that we're facing right now in crypto. And it all comes back down to the same thing. Updated regs. An NFT is very different than a utility token. A utility token is very different than meme. Meme is very different than a stablecoin. Yet somehow we gotta clump them all together? That makes no sense. That makes no sense at all. So updated regs are definitely in the need, but the only way we're gonna get them is if we have a major political shift. Man, I don't know what's going to happen first. Survey crews coming here, or we get a major political shift. That'd be a good prop bet for you. Well, I'm going to go do some work, keep cutting more. I'm tired, but we got to get stuff done. Catch y'all later. Choo-choo, bitches.